Okay, so we've got another sample piece on the bonnet here. Lots of slip solution on it, under it, over it. How do we squeegee, Ben?
Yeah, so obviously when it's on a panel, you're going to have bubbles, you're going to have air pockets and what have you. So basics of squeegeeing. Obviously this is lubricated with slip solution on the top, and we're just going to pull away using overlapping motions until you've pushed out all of the water or air bubbles. You do need to use a small amount of force. If you're just sort of pushing it a little bit, you're going to leave yourself with small bubbles in. So you do need to
moisture as well.
Exactly. Yeah. You're going to give it a bit of a push. You know, I'm not pushing to the point where I'm going to dent the bonnet, but you know, it's a fair amount of push. And again, just overlapping. You can see now how that bubble's moving. What we want to try and avoid is pushing like this. That's more the sort of push that you would use if you were using a wrap or something like that. There are times when you may need it, but we're trying to avoid that for your longer strokes. If you can get away with doing this, and that's a more favourable way of pushing out your air pockets and water bubbles.
So that's if there's only slip under the film.
Yeah.
You don't want to slip into where there's tack solution either. So I'll just grab some tack actually, because I think this is a good demonstration. If we tack down a corner.
Right, yeah. So if we were installing this piece and we had used some tack solution because we needed to tack in this corner to ensure it didn't move,
yep.
I would just be lifting up this side, flushing out the slip solution. You can see how slippy it can be. I'm going to then lay that piece down. So that's now not going to move because of the tack. This area is still going to move, as you can see. So if I needed to stretch it or move it into a particular way. What I don't want to do now, because that is tacked down, I don't want to push the slip into the tack, because what's happening there is as it goes through, that now will become slip potentially. We don't want to push that way. We always want to be pushing away from the tack.
It might be difficult to see on camera as well, but what it does is leave these lines called silvering. And that's basically where the film has been tacked down, and you're trying to push slip solution into it, and it causes this horrible silvering line, which is actually quite difficult to remove once it's down. So if you do find that and you have pushed your slip solution into your tack solution, you're going to need to peel that back up, re-slip it, and then squeegee that back down. Again, staying away from tacked areas. If you need to tack it again, you can, but again, take that away from the panel. Take slip solution not into tacked areas.
So just as an example, I may have to tack this side, and I may also have to tack this side. So now you're sort of thinking, well, where do I push to now? Well, we've created a channel now of slip. So we would now be bringing this slip down. So we've removed everything out of there, but without interfering into the two tack sides.
Yeah.
You may find that you need to do that on 1, 2 sides, 3 sides, but as long as you've always left yourself a channel to remove the slip out of, then you'll be fine.
Yeah, perfect.